Hi, my name is Kira Murphy, and today I am going to be talking about what post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is, and particularly how it affects veterans in the United States. PTSD is a disorder that develops in some people who have experienced a shocking, scary, or dangerous event. It is important to note that it is natural to feel afraid after a traumatic situation, but most people recover from these initial symptoms naturally. Although, when symptoms last more than a month, seriously affect one's ability to function, and are not due to substance abuse, medical illness, or anything except the event itself, the person may have developed PTSD. More specifically, to be diagnosed with PTSD, someone must have all of the following for at least 1 month. At least one re-experiencing symptom, which may include flashbacks, bad dreams, or frightening thoughts. At least one avoidance symptom, such as staying away from places, events, or objects that are reminders of the experience, or avoiding thoughts or feelings related to the traumatic event. At least 2 arousal and reactivity symptoms, so being easily startled, feeling tense or on edge, difficulty sleeping, or angry outbursts. And lastly, at least 2 cognition and mood symptoms, which may be trouble remembering key features of the event, negative thoughts about oneself or the world, distorted feelings like guilt or blame, or loss of interest in enjoyable activities. These symptoms are also often accompanied by depression, substance abuse, or one or more of the other anxiety disorders. According to the National Center for PTSD, about 7 to 8% of people will experience PTSD at some point in their lives. There are certain risk factors that make someone more likely to develop PTSD. Some pre-trauma risk factors include being female, non-white, having a low level of education, being non-officers, so you end up experiencing more combat, the branch of service you are in, due to the fact that Marines, Air Force, Navy, or Coast Guard have a lower risk than those who serve in the Army. Also, having more deployments or longer length of deployment, or experiencing adverse life events such as childhood trauma. Genetics may also play a role as well. Now, these are all just risk factors before severe trauma. A number of different experiences further raise someone's chances of developing PTSD, including living through dangerous events or traumas, getting hurt, seeing another person hurt or a dead body, or feeling horror, helplessness, or extreme fear. Now, when we consider these risk factors in regards to veterans, you can see why PTSD is so prevalent in this particular population. Many people in combat end up seeing and experiencing some gruesome, life-altering events. Another risk factor to be considered is added stress after the event, such as the loss of a loved one, pain and injury, or loss of a job or home. This made me think about all of the veterans who are facing the effects of trauma while recovering from a resulting injury, whether that be a gunshot wounds, for example, or even the loss of a limb. Some veterans may also be grieving the loss of a friend or loved one who was killed in combat on top of everything they just experienced. Military sexual trauma is yet another potentially life-altering experience that is not uncommon. It has been reported that out of those who use VA healthcare, 55 out of 100 women and 38 out of 100 men have experienced sexual harassment when in the military. Veterans have been through so much while fighting for our country, and it is our job to help them recover when they return. There are a number of resilience factors that can help promote recovery after trauma, including seeking out support from other people, friends or family, finding a support group after a traumatic event, learning to feel good about one's own actions in face of danger, having a positive coping strategy or way of getting through the bad event and learning from it, or being able to act and respond effectively despite feeling fear. With more research, someday it may be possible to predict who is likely to develop PTSD and prevent it. Until then, we must focus on helping our veterans recover from their trauma and prevention of suicide, which my classmates will now talk to you about.